Well, good evening and welcome to Spotlight in the studio. And this time I'm with Jose from Tel Cockerel, and it's a pleasure to have this man on the channel. How are we doing, Jose?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you very much, Tony. It's Bank Holiday Monday. It's flown by.
Yeah,
The weather hasn't been absolutely fantastic. I don't know where I am down on the coast. It was sheeting this morning, um, on and off till probably early afternoon, and then after that the sun did make an appearance. I played football tonight, and it was sunny when I played football tonight. Um, got my 10,000 steps in, so well happy today.
you remember that? Yeah, yeah. The weather's been a bit of a mixed bag. I mean, it was fairly warm, but blimey, it's been blowing like nobody's business around here. So yeah, I mean that one. I'm glad it's that. Well, don't get me wrong, with the heat and having the wind, it's just about right. So I can't complain about that one. But before we carry on, I think the one thing we will bring up, and that, as you know, we heard the news about this man. Obviously, Sven Goran Eriksson, unfortunately, he's passing. It's a great shame. I mean, he did well. As you can see there, he was their first overseas manager, but unfortunately, he lost his fight. But I think the one thing he'll be very happy about, he actually got to manage Liverpool in that kind of friendly they had. So yeah, God rest Sven, and yeah, rest up and enjoy the afterlife, as they say.
It was weird because he's been given the diagnosis as a year to live, and
Mm,
it's only just come about, and they've just filmed some stuff with him and that,
yeah,
and then all of a sudden, no sooner as they done all this, he passed away this morning, and you're just like, wow, it doesn't feel like the year he got a year, even when they told him he had a year, he hasn't had a year,
no,
you know, and he's
no,
passed on. But yeah, he wanted to manage Liverpool from the touchline. He got to fulfil his dream. Um, regardless in any capacity, he was there at Anfield, and and he whether it was a veterans game or not, he got to do what he wanted to do. He had
exactly. Yeah,
Stevie G by his side as well, playing in the game as well, because he had Stevie G at the England team as well, didn't he? So yeah,
yeah, he did.
well done to him,
He
and
did.
may he rest in eternal peace.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'd definitely say that. And while we're here, guys, if you ever get the chance to, and if it's going to post itself on there, that is the link to Jose's channel. So please go over and give him a sub. He's a nice guy. He may be a Spurs fan, as you know. We say that about each other all the time. Don't matter what the opposition is. We're all nice guys at the end of the day. But please go and give the man a like. And it's such a good bloke. And as always, let's say hello to the people in the chat. Without these people, it doesn't make it what it is. Good evening, Arsenal Rennick. Good evening, hope you're well. Yeah, good, mate. Hope you are as well. My partner in crime, Anthony Herbert. Big up Tony and Jose. And the best mod on the planet, Mama Flossie. Evening, Tony, Jose. And obviously, McManus. Evening, all. Hope you're good. We are indeed. And yeah, just saying, Sven. Yeah, Matt. Hope you're all well, Matt. And also Sharky as well. Good to see you, Sharky. It's been a while. I hope everything's good. They were saying their parts. McManus was saying, yeah, I was watching Sven's documentary on Amazon. That's the one he was on about. Got an alert on my phone to say he'd passed away. Such a shame. Yeah, indeed. Yeah, it was a shame. So, are you ready? This is all about you now, Jose. So I'm going to, not exactly put you on the spotlight, but we are going to find out about the great man, which is Jose. So, what can you tell me about yourself?
What do you want to know? God, um,
Your
right about
age,
me.
where you are, just what you do.
Right, I'm 56 now. For my sins, I still play football 3 times a week. I play tonight, so I play on a Monday, a Wednesday, and a Friday. I do a double session on a Friday. There are hour matches, 9 aside, on a 4G pitch. Um, Mixed ability, so you're playing against some whippersnappers that are really, really quick. And as an old man, trying to keep up with them is just like hard impossible. Uh, need oxygen tanks by the end of the game. I've got 5 kids, 4 grandchildren, and 2 German shepherds. Uh,
Nice, mate.
brother and a
Nice.
sister, 8 years old, who I love dearly. Um, do you want to know about? Is that enough
No,
for now? Or do
that's
you want to know
that's
more?
great, mate. I mean, I must
Right.
admit, now you're selling German Shepherds, yes, because many a time on your channel, and then suddenly you can hear them in the background. So at least I know what they are now.
Yeah,
So
they're
that's
two
good.
German shepherds, brother and sister. So I think my daughter has gone out with her boyfriend to go and buy a pizza. So they've gone into the village to go and get some pizza. And when they come back, no doubt, if we're on and they come back, you'll hear the dogs go absolutely radio rental again. So there we go.
We're looking forward to that. Big up to Brian CFC, early doors football TV and chat. Big up to yourself, mate. I hope you're good. So they're all looking at there. So the next one for you, mate, is basically how long have you supported Spurs?
1977. Not since 1977. I think when I first started playing football in primary school, and even before then, but primary school, the team that everyone used to rap about was Liverpool. So I can
Yep.
remember that. I can remember the
Yep.
Liverpool side from the 70s, from the mid 70s, and that. And I used to sneak because the cup finals were at 7:30 in the evening back in them times. And what I used to do is I used to try and stay up for the matches when I had school night, weren't it? They used to be, the finals used to be
Yeah.
on a school. It used to be a Wednesday night. Anyway, I remember watching Liverpool and watching them play in finals and that. And they were a team that everyone wanted to be like back then. And I've got family in Argentina, so Liverpool is. I used to watch Liverpool on telly, amongst other football on the big match and stuff like that. But I've got family in Argentina. My cousin was a reporter, football journalist in Argentina. His name was Hector Bais, and we used to ring him up on them old phones. Remember the ones you had to go
Yeah.
dial round phones and all that.
Yeah.
We used to ring
Yeah.
up on the dial round phones, and every couple of weeks we'd ring up Argentina, or they'd ring us, and my dad would speak to his cousins and all that, including my cousin, the football journalist. And I remember staying up and watching the World Cup final. Right, so I remember watching the World Cup final. So the World Cup final, should I say, in Buenos Aires. And I remember actually getting up. I remember getting up at 4 in the morning to watch Argentina. I think it was Argentina Peru, and I think they had to win by 4 or 6 goals in order to qualify in their own tournament for the next round.
Wow.
And they beat Peru 6-0, and they qualified. And I got up at 4 in the morning, went in from my bedroom into the living room, kept the telly really low. But when you've got the lights off, all you can see is the different picture, the different colour living room. I was thinking, I hope to God my parents don't see all this coloration. And that. So I remember watching all that, and then we had a phone call with them, and he spoke to me. He asked me. He said to me, "Look," he goes, "Osvaldo Ardiles and Ricky Villa." He said, "You know them?" And I said, "Yeah." I said, "Osvaldo, where's the number 2 for Argentina?" This is me as a kid, and he goes, "They're coming over to Tottenham. They're going to go and sign for Tottenham." So obviously, with the family connections and that, I then started supporting Tottenham. I didn't grow up in the Tottenham area. I grew up in a Chelsea manor. So being a Tottenham fan in the Chelsea manor, God, that had its trials and tribulations as
I got
well.
to say, because there's a comment here from Arsenal Manic and say the community here, they're great people, but I like this one. It's time for a change, sir. Switch to the Arsenal, he said. Enough of the Spurs.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
Good evening, Howard. How are we doing? Good evening, all you beautiful people coming your minds. Absolutely, mate. I'm good, mate. I hope you are as well. So let's see now. I think you kind of alluded to it in that, but would you say it was more yourself, or was it family that influenced you to support Spurs, or is it a
It was my
case of
cousin.
mm,
Like I said, it was my cousin in
yeah, yeah,
Argentina.
yeah, yeah?
I never ever met him. My cousin, just always on the phone. I've met his daughter. His daughter, who's similar age to me,
Mm,
and he's passed on now, my cousin. But yeah, it
that's
was
a shame.
through him, and it's through what he said. As I said, he was a journo out there, and from what he said to me, that's what made me start supporting Spurs back then.
Wow. I mean, do you feel kind of a bit robbed because you never met him face to face because he passed?
Not really, because he wasn't the only person that we had family out there. I mean, there's a lot of family that I've spoken to on phones when I was young that
Mm,
I haven't actually met. I mean, my family spread through. I've got loads in South America. I've got loads of family in South America. I've got loads of family in Spain still, obviously.
Big up, Anthony.
I've got family in Switzerland. I've got family dotted around everywhere. Family in Uruguay, but I don't get to see them all. It's just weird. I mean, I used to go home every summer to Spain. So for the people that, if you want to know Spain geographically, I'm from Galicia, which is the northwest above Portugal,
Mm.
and my team in Spain is Deportivo de La Coruña. For those that can remember, and I'm sure Arsenal will remember Deportivo, um, from the good old days when we used to beat you in the European champion. Sorry, in the Champions League, it used to be back then. Um, and yeah, so from there, there's loads of people that I just haven't met. Some people in the summer when we used to go back, like I was saying, we used to go back in the summer, and when we used to go back in the summer, people would come in because they were immigrants. They went and found their lives in other countries because
Mm.
Spain was poor at the time and that.
Yeah.
So in the summer, everyone would converge back to Galicia, to their villages and their hometowns and all that. Then you get people flying in from Uruguay, Argentina. You get people coming in from Belgium, Holland, France, Switzerland, wherever they've gone to find their lives elsewhere in Europe. People from England used to fly over as well, and you used to meet these people in the summer. And you used to turn up, and someone used to say, see that person over there? That's your cousin from blah blah blah. And you like, really? And and there were so many people I got told about, and some of you didn't even speak to because there's just too many people. You were like a bit, shit, I don't even know him. How can I go and say hello? I don't even know
Yeah.
him and all
Bit
that. So
bit cagey to go forward.
yeah,
Yeah.
so there's a lot of family and that I met and probably didn't even speak to. So
Wow.
no, it just happens. I don't miss it. Thank you very much, Anthony. By the way, sir.
Yeah. That's good to hear. Good. Big up to Howard. There was something like that. And big up to the Goat Saves Football as well. Big up to the Dice Football in the chat. Big up to yourself, mate. So, what would you say is your best highlight from Spurs?
Well, I think any Spurs fan, um, well, older Spurs fan, because there are some that are older than me as well. The highlights are probably winning the trophies that we used to win back way when, and they're probably highlights. I think one that stuck out for me was the 3-2 win in the FA Cup final against Man City when Ricky Villa scored them 2 goals in the replay because he'd had an awful game in the first game. He got substituted. And that's when you played a replay on a Wednesday night. The cup final was on a Saturday at 3 in the afternoon. The replay was at Wembley as well at 7:30 in the evening on a Wednesday night. And yeah, that one sticks in the memory. I think the '84 UEFA Cup win as well sticks in the memory. Yeah, it's just basically the memories of winning actual trophies that we used to do many years ago. Things have changed since. Things have changed since. I
This
mean,
is true.
people keep reminding me back in 1991. 1991 seems a long time ago now. We won our eighth FA Cup, and since then, Arsenal have won 7 or 8 since '91. We used to be the holders of all the FA Cups, and now we've been overtaken by X, Y, Z, and B. But there we go. Yeah. So
Yeah,
if you're
of
asking me for
course.
my best highlight, it would have been something that happened many moons ago, so to speak.
Oh, brilliant, brilliant. Because funny enough, when we did the Sunday night takeaway last night, I had Budgie, who's a West Ham fan. He left a message on my community thing, and he did ask the question for you, Jose. Why can't Spurs win a trophy?
I don't know. Well, I don't. I mean, to win a trophy, like I'm not going to mince my words. To win a trophy, anyone that wins trophies, apart from the league title, because I think the league title you deserve it, right?
Yeah,
Because you've played. That's where you are after 38 games. You deserve that.
absolutely.
But sometimes along the way you get a little bit of luck, and I'd say that in winning cups, you get a bit of luck. It all depends on the draw you get. It all depends on whether whether it's raining or the sun was shining on the day. It depends on
Yeah,
whether your players were fit, unfit, whether they had a good game, a bad game. Cups can be what? It can be anything from, if you're talking about domestic cup, you're talking about playing what, maybe 6 matches to
hmm,
win an FA Cup or whatever.
yeah,
Um, Depending what round you enter the Carabao, as it's called now, probably another 6, 7 matches or whatever for that as well. When you're playing in Europe, it's more. It never used to be, but it's now more matches because you've got the group stages, and then you get playoffs, and then you get the last 16, and you get all that going on. And I think, at the end of the day, I think a lot of people will turn around and say that our managers in the recent past have not taken cups seriously. They
Mm,
changed, they tinker the team. But at the end of the day, the way I look at it is that we're no different. We're no different to West Ham, Arsenal, Liverpool, Newcastle, any team that's playing in the third round of the FA Cup now will change their team around because
yeah,
there's so many fixtures that are on that now at the moment because it's all about the money now, isn't it? So
of course it is. Of course it is.
everyone picks a lesser side now in the third round. There's not many teams that stick out their full first team out in the third round. So at the end of the day, we've done what everyone else does, but for some reason, and for all them reasons I said, there's all variables. We just don't think we're going no further than what we have. I mean, we've reached finals, but just lost in them.
Yes, yeah, yeah,
We've reached semi-finals and we've just lost in them. I can't remember. Obviously, the last final that we won was 2008. Was the last final we won. We lost in 2015. We lost
mm,
in 2018 in finals. But yeah, the last final that we won was back in 2008. So we've been in semis, just not got over the line, and we've been in finals, just not got over the line. Other teams have, we haven't.
yeah.
There's
I get that.
variables. I mean, it
It
happens to
is.
everybody.
It is there. I mean, Howard's obviously said there, like mentality.
Yeah,
That's
that
one thing.
that could be as well. That's another variable you can add to
That's
it.
the big thing. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, as you said, there's various factors in there. I just want to go back to the goat there. I mean, this is a great crowd for these guys. He was at Dulwich Hamlet today. 2,000 people turned up for a National League South game. Well, that's a great attendance for them.
My mate was the manager last season at Dulwich Hamlet at the beginning of last season until he got shoved out. And now he's managing Corinthian Casuals, who are the oldest
Yes,
amateur side in England.
yes, they are indeed. Yeah,
Yeah,
been there many a times. I used to do semi-pro myself, mate, so I know all
yeah.
about them as well.
Down in Tolworth they are,
Yes, that's
off the
right.
A3.
Howard's got tickets for the Bournemouth game, bringing his daughter to her first game. Brilliant! That's going to be good for her. As Matt's saying, yeah, fingers crossed for a win for you and your daughter. And he's put on there some of it will score on his debut, Matt. That would be very nice. That would be very nice. As you said, let's hope so. Arsenal saying, reason Spurs can't win a trophy is similar to why Arsenal, Newcastle, Chelsea, Man United can't win major trophies these days. Competition is stiff. Only one team could win the Premier League and one team the Champions League. This is true.
And the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup and the Europa League. And there's only one team that can win each of them competitions because you can't have two teams in the same competition. So only one team can win it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, they beat Cray Wanderers 2-1. 22,000 followers on Instagram as well. Yeah, they're not doing bad. And if you have one team breaching 115 rules, you're not going to get much of a chance.
You don't get many Man City supporters in your chat, do you? Or they all got in hiding. They're all gone in hiding. God.
Yeah, the 115 I did have, they've disappeared for a little while. So, yeah, I mean, look at that. Look, from where is he now? From Dulwich Hamlet going to the San Siro on Friday. What a difference! That's how I said. So I didn't. There's one bit I ain't changed it. Let me just change that because I don't think you want to see that name, even though it's a good name. But I'm going to change it for you, mate. I thought I did all my homework yesterday, but obviously not. What is your worst moment from Spurs?
Some people say when we got relegated back in '77, but I didn't feel too much about that. My worst moment, I'm probably going to say losing the Champions League final to Liverpool. I thought it was one that we could have won. Yeah, it was definitely one that we could have won. I think we were robbed, or the game itself was robbed with the referee giving that penalty after a couple of minutes. You look at that, and 9 times out of 10, that's not given as a penalty, and it got given that day, and I think it ruined it. Yeah, it was a missed opportunity, and it's the Champions League final is another one. It's a hard final to get to.
Yes.
you need to have some luck on the way, and not always the best team wins the Champions League. And I've got to say that. And people will say, yeah, but Real Madrid 14 times. Yeah, they've won it 14 times, but some of the times that they've won it, they've not been the best side. Um, I mean, they won it last year, and for me, the best side was Man City, but
Yeah.
Real Madrid won it. I remember the season before Real Madrid meeting City. I don't know if it's the quarterfinals or the semi-finals, and Man City absolutely buried them on the way to the final. They won the final 1-0 against Inter. And this time round, they were two tight games. I thought Man City had the greater possession, the greater chances last season in the semis, and
Yep.
um, and they got beaten by Real Madrid. You know, at the end of the day, Real Madrid won it and went on to win it. So it's not always the best side. And I just feel that, to answer your question, it was a missed opportunity. We had, you know, what? How did we got to that final? I never know. We got beaten 7-2 by Bayern Munich in the group stages. we had to get a point. I think what was it, a point in Barcelona or something? We had to get. Lucas Moura got the equaliser for us in order to qualify out the group, and then uh, God, Ajax. We were down and out against Ajax. God, and Moura ended up scoring that hat trick. You know, at the end, like I said, it's luck. You need some luck on your
You
way
do
to these
sometimes.
things.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
and we played Liverpool, and I've got to say, it weren't the greatest of Liverpool teams either. It wasn't the Liverpool team that they've got or that they had when they won the league title a couple of years later or whatever. And the season they went toe to toe with Man City and lost the league by 1 point. That wasn't the Liverpool team we played against. So it was a missed opportunity. So for me, yeah, I'm going to say Liverpool first, Liverpool Champions League.
Mm. Yeah, that's just not. I mean, yeah, we've all been there, haven't we, in certain respects. I mean, ours is, well, apart from the conference, we know about the rest of it for West Ham anyway. Just want to go on this one here. The Goat Saves Football. He's one sub away from 600 on his main channel, the Football Fun Chief. And guys, if you can, go and let's get him over that 600 mark. Let's help the young lad out if we can. Thank you very much for that as well. And just to remind everyone again, you can see Jose's channel in the chat there, please. So make sure, if you can, go and give him a little bit of love, a like, and subscribe, please. Welcome to Lee, Football Dad's Army. Poch was a great fit for Spurs, though. Nearly got you there.
Yeah, nearly.
And Howard saying, was in your ground on a corporate back in the late 90s. Jose watching a cup semi-final against Newcastle. Used boys lost. Not sure what year that was. Those were my lost Coke years. That's brilliant. So, Jose, your next one. Who do you consider to be your greatest manager?
The greatest manager for Tottenham is Bill Nick. You can't take it away from him. It's got to be Bill Nicholson. He was he could have won the double and everything, and he's probably the greatest manager. But I wasn't alive for that. Yeah, I wasn't alive for that. So I'd say the one that I've seen, and it's probably won us the most, was Keith Birkinshaw in my lifetime.
Yeah.
Yeah, Keith Birkinshaw, with what he did, he won the most. For Howard's put in there Venables. Venables, fantastic manager. Well before his time, Venables, even when he was at Palace and what he was doing with Palace and that, and obviously he went to manage England and he changed the way that England played football and stuff like that. So yeah, it would be Venables is a good manager, but in my lifetime, the person that's won the most at the club was Birkinshaw. Birkinshaw brought us the most trophies. So I'm going to say Birkinshaw, but the greatest of all time has always been Bill Nick.
Nice one, nice. Before we go into the other kind of questions, I want to ask you this one because this is how we kind of met each other. But what inspired you to do YouTube?
Watching it, basically. I watched YouTube, and the thing that frustrates me on YouTube, and for those that haven't got or don't do YouTube, but if you're in here in the chat and that, is that when Tony, you can say something. If someone agrees or disagrees with you or wants to elaborate on something you just said, you start typing in, and you've got a certain amount of words you can put in there. So you've got to hit the enter button, and once you hit the enter button, you haven't finished your sentence, and you carry on typing, and by the time you get your next part of it in there, 5 people or 6 people or 7 people, 8 people. They've all commented as well. So you lose the comment in translation because one's up there,
Yeah.
one's down there. And if it's a 3-parter, your third one is down there. So
Even
it's like
further.
it's like unrolling a toilet roll, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's just like
it
that.
is.
So in the end, I just thought to myself, "Oh, the crap to this shit. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna give it a crack." And I've met people through YouTube in different shows and that, and from a bit like this, from answering things, and then people put comments and that. You get to meet people, and then when you get to meet people, I ended up starting I agreed with a guy called Chris, who runs Meta Football TV. Don't you remember
Yeah,
Chris from
yeah,
Meta Football?
Chris. Yeah,
Yeah,
Chris.
so Chris lives in Spain. He lives in my region of Spain, and I said to Chris that should we give it a crack? Two thickos together. Well, let's just give it a crack and have a go. So I started a channel. He started a channel, and we didn't have a clue what we were doing. We'd go on, we didn't even know how to set up a live show. So we thought we'd gone live, we hadn't, and in the end we thought we'd gone live, and YouTube, like you do your thumbnails and that. We didn't do thumbnails. We just went live.
Yeah,
So we weren't preparing shows. It weren't like for the future. We just went live, and we couldn't see whether we were live or not. And then in the end of the day, we just sat there and we talked, and we didn't have a clue what we were doing. We would talk for 4.5 hours. So our streams would go on for 4.5 hours. Queen Ellie used to come on them as well. And so we just sit there and we chew the fat and just talk about anything about football. So it didn't have to be just Tottenham related. You start with
yeah,
Tottenham, but you spoke about everything else as well. And in the end, I did that, and then after a while, um, obviously you see other content, and you start subscribing to other content creators and that. And I Elliot asked me to subscribe to Talk and Ball, which I did,
yep.
and then I went in the Collins chat, and I was typing away, doing the usual and that, and putting comments in there, and then he used to put the link out, the StreamYard link. Says anyone want to come on? And because he likes doing
Anyone,
shows with
Chris?
a lot of people.
Yeah,
Evening, Chris. Mod on my channel. Nice one, Chris. Nice to see you here, mate. So I ended up going on his, did a few shows where I went on, and then he asked me, he
even
said to me, look,
exponential.
good evening. He said to me, you seem like we seem to bounce off each other. Do you want to come and co-host with me? So I said yeah, and went on with him. And I said to him, you know, he was doing things the way that he did it, and I just gave him a few what I thought as a viewer, what I'd like to see. I gave him a
Yep.
few, tips and that, and then I just said to him, look, I'll do you a favor. I'll get you to 1,000 subs. And he was on about, I think he was on about 280 at the time. I said to him, I'll get you to 1,000 subs. And sure enough, went on with him. Ended up getting him to 1,000 subs, and then decided that once I got him to 1,000 subs, I said to him, I need to start concentrating on my channel.
Mm,
So that's why I'm doing a lot more now, or have been in the last, I don't know, probably since March, April time, started doing a
yep.
lot more on mine to build my channel up. And as it is, although I've been going for a year and a bit, I've not even reached. I'm trying to reach the 600 mark now. So, but it's all enjoyable. I mean, you've come in, Tony, to my chat and that, and you've been a part of it. And at the end of the day, it's like we were saying off air just now. It's about growing the community. It doesn't matter who you support. It's just about growing the community. And like I was saying to you earlier, people know each other by name. So instead of it being, I don't know, you've got Arsenal Manic there, but Arsenal Manic has a name. Arsenal Manic has a life.
Yeah.
He's not just Arsenal Manic. So at the end of the day, um, I've got that with people that support all sorts of teams. I mean, we've got you appear early doors football, but I know you as Tony, and you get to learn about people, and
Of
that's what
course.
we want. We want the community.
Nope. Hopefully, we haven't lost him too much. That's a shame. Let's hope we're getting back shortly. Pepsi's saying, I met a really kinky girl last night and she asked me to humiliate her. I bought her a Spurs shirt. Wow. The more you collaborate, the sooner you'll reach 1,000 subs. The your channels will all deserve it. Just need to be gathered. Thanks very much,
I'm
mate.
here.
You're
Sorry
back.
about
You're
that.
back.
This
That's
bloody
all right.
internet. I'm
Is what
just
it
about
was.
to type on my I'm typing on my laptop because I've got you on my iMac, and on my laptop I'm typing in, I am here.
Well, I don't know if you saw that one from Pepsi. Met a really kinky girl last night, and she asked me to humiliate her, so I bought her a Spurs shirt.
Yeah, I saw that earlier, but I'm letting you read your own chat.
No, it's fine. And big up to Matt up the cherries until I can't say the rest. Matt knows what it all stands for. He said it last night. This is a great show, excellent work. Cheers, Matt. Thanks for being on the show for last night as well.
I'm on with you. I'm on with you next Sunday, aren't I? So I'm looking forward to that. So I'll be
You
on
are
with you
indeed,
next
mate.
Sunday.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
He's going to get you on there as well, so it'll be good. Tony, you've really been picking up the pace recently. Need to get to 1,000 by Christmas or by November, and 1.5K by the end of the year. Everybody subscribe, please. Thank you very much, mate. I really appreciate that. Exponential Anchor said, Tony, you've been all over your fees lately, mate. Hard grafting. Yeah, it's one of those, isn't it? It's getting the time to do it. Not always got the time to do it. And as Jose said to me earlier on, that you've got a beer in your hand, and it's like it's well overdue with all the work. Well, I do obviously out of this, but no, I appreciate that, mate. Thank you very much. That's what it's all about, getting a different opinion and building a community and change. Yeah, absolutely. That's what we do. And that's, in certain respects, what the Sunday Night Takeaway is all there for. It's about getting people from different clubs, even you fans, from in the chat, you want to come on there, you're quite welcome to. Just give us a shout, and we look forward to doing that. Yeah, Chris is saying, Jose, it's unreal. You're only on 600 subs.
I'm
Yeah,
not
we
on
know
600. I'm trying to get to 600, Chris. I'm 3 short, I think, of 600. So
yeah, that's true.
yeah.
Lisa, keep going, bro. I'm in the same boat, growing slowly. Yeah, of course, mate. I mean, it's good to build up a relationship with all different people. Exponential anger saying autocorrect. Got your name there, Tony. I know, mate. Been talking about wanting Ivan too much, apparently. Yeah. Well, it looks like he's obviously going to be Saudi bound. It seems that's going to be the case. Looks like even Arsenal's missing out on that one. We're laughing. Off top here, Red Bull lost the F1 yesterday. I know shit about it, but I like the drink. That's why I was supporting them. Where are we now? Yeah. Interesting one for you here now. If you could become the owner of Spurs, what would you do and why?
That's a loaded question. That's a loaded question. If I was the owner, right? At the moment, we have an owner who can't be faulted on the business side. Cannot be faulted at all. If I was the owner, I'd like to think I'd become a better communicator.
Big up, Daniel.
Hi, Dan. A better communicator than what he actually is. So, be able to communicate, because I think the frustration with Tottenham fans is we don't know what the club's up to. But you walk around any London tube station at the moment, and you've got Tottenham, visit F1.
Yes.
Go to do this, go to do that. It's in every station. There's posters. It doesn't matter what station you're in London. Every single one of these stations has got this poster. Not one thing about football. Not one thing about the football side. It's all about come see fucking Beyonce get her knickers off in front of 63,000 people. Come and see two fucking middle-aged fucking down and out boxers smash each other up, and come underneath the stadium. We've got Formula One kart track, and so it's all about everything other than the football. Is what it seems to be. So I'd rather, if I was the owner, I'd rather be a better communicator, right? Whereby I'd communicate with the club. I don't feel that he or the board communicate enough with the club to see what the vision is, what the ethos is, what we're trying to do, what we're trying to achieve, and stuff like that. And I think the emphasis, and it's pissed off most of the fan base. It's pissed them off because they don't know where we're going and what we're trying to do, because everything you ever hear out of the club is, we're going to be doing anything other than football. So they'll promote your Formula One, they'll promote the shows for, I don't know, Oasis apparently going to be playing at Tottenham next season. I've seen a few people saying it. Oasis are playing there next year and stuff like that. And it's going to be all about that, but nothing about the football. And the only time that Levy ever talks about football, or the last time he talked about football, I think was when he spoke to the Cambridge students, and that's got to be about a good 18 months to 2 years ago. And back then, he said what he said. He's not going to be challenged by the Cambridge students, you know. So at the end of the day, I'd like to be a communicator. If I was the owner at Tottenham, I would like to be a communicator and let people know exactly what what we're doing and what we're trying to do going forward. You don't have
Yeah.
to give the fucking secrets away of the club. There's no secrets to be
Exactly.
given.
Yeah.
Just tell people what your vision is or what you want to do. This is what we want to do. We set ourselves a roadmap. We'd like to do this within the next 3 years, or tell us what you want to do, or what you're trying to do. Don't leave it to other people, because you're leaving it to other people, and then what then happens is other people then get shot at, and
Mm,
and Levy dodges the bullets because other people are in the firing line for it.
of course.
So I'd like to become I'd like to be think if I was the owner, I'd be a good communicator and tell people what we're doing and that. And the other thing I'd like to do is and Gus has said it there, football's a minor inconvenience to Levy.
Yeah. That's it.
I
Yeah.
would he's right. I would have thought that what I'd be doing is I'd be putting more emphasis on the football side, because you've got some. I mean, you only have to walk around the stadium. I went on Saturday. It's the first time I've been to the stadium. I used to go to the lane all the time, but I live
Yeah.
miles
Yeah.
away
Yeah.
now, and I went to the stadium on Saturday. And what I will say is, at the stadium on Saturday, there were people of either similar age to myself or older than me. Um, so you've got the hardcore, the older mob who've grown up with Tottenham throughout their lives,
Mm,
still going to the matches and that, and then being disrespected with what they're doing with the phasing out the concessions for older people, and there's all this going on. So they keep
yeah.
putting their foot in it. It's whether it's him or whether it's the board, they keep putting their foot in it.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, there's one faux pas after another. Um, I mean, I did see young people there as well. What I will
Yeah.
say is, I used to get told that you get tourists at the stadium. So you get all the Koreans coming over and all that. You get all the tourists at the stadium. I've got to say that when I went on Saturday, unless I was walking around fucking blind, and I drank water all day. So there's no way I was pissed, because I drank water all day. I walked round and I can't tell you that I saw any tourists at all. Everybody I saw, and it was a Tottenham fan. So but they're the kind of things I'd do. And then
Mm,
I'd like to put my eggs more in the basket of the football side of it, and open up more on football than, oh, this is what we're doing with F1. This
yeah.
is what we're doing. That's what I'd do if you're asking me
Of
that
course.
question.
No. Good man. I mean, funny you've touched on the concessions, because it's a big thing going on. At the London Stadium as well, and we have kind of brought up a petition. Everyone's signing that basically, and I know they have slightly backed down the board. But yeah, this thing, as I've highlighted it a couple of times on my show. A lot of West Ham channels have also definitely highlighted it, and it's not just West Ham. It's obviously, now you're saying it's yourself, and it will spread all over the place, and it's
Yeah.
just taking it away from what was a working man sport basically. So I'm glad you mentioned that. Howard's got one for you. He says, "Is Levy loved, or like our own dildo merchant dwarf owner, not liked very much?"
Do you know what the description who's your owner?
David Sullivan.
Okay, right. I was going to say, you could have fucking what you just used. The words you just used there is what people would describe our owner like, but the word bald is missing there. Um, yeah, I think there's a lot of people within the fan base that loathe him, and purely because of a lot of the stuff that I've said. But I will
Mm,
say as well, though, and I said it on my show earlier on today, and I was on yesterday with Spurs Diehards. I was on their channel last night, and what I
yeah.
will say is that on YouTube and on Shitter, right, it's toxic. You get
Yes.
people that are divided one way or another. It's either it's Levy out, it's Levy in, Anja, Anjin, team of shit, team of good. You
Yeah.
got fractions absolutely everywhere. The fractions seem to be, and I've always thought this, but on Saturday it reinforced it for me. The fractions seem to be on social media. So whether it's YouTube, whether it's whatever other channel you use, shit or whatever it is, the fractions seem to be there. Speaking to people, because I'd obviously got a ticket for the exchange, so I was sitting with people that I didn't even know, And when I spoke to people around me at the stadium on Saturday, and the feeling that I got from everyone that I spoke to on Saturday, everyone's behind the team and everyone's behind the manager and that. So it seems to be that this spew that's coming out is all on social media and not from, it's not what the fans think at the stadium. So but it is what it is. I don't know whether
Yeah.
it's like that in the West Ham fan base, whether it's all just on the social media side of it, or whether you guys are like that at the stadium as well. Do you know what I mean? The fans.
Yeah, I mean, it's I fair to say the concession thing is I think is overall taking over most of the things at the moment. But of course, like everything else, we've got a new manager in charge at the moment. The one thing you can't knock Sullivan for is he's opened up his wallet and he's backed the manager. You can see that with the amount of signings we've done so far. So for me, it's jury out. We'll see. We've got our first win under Lopetegui,
Yeah.
so hopefully it's one of many. Daniel's saying here, good to see probably the only West Ham fan I like with a top guy like Jose. And Tony, I've seen who's on next week. I'll make sure to be in the chat. Thanks, Daniel. Matt saying as well, Tel Cockerel, we've just subbed as a channel to your channel. And I'll possibly personally sub also. If you need anything cherries related, give us a shout. Map the cherries in all departments.
I will. Everybody that subscribes to me, you get the thing that comes up that tells you someone's just subbed. Every
Yeah.
time I get that, I always sub back to anyone that subbed to me. I do that, and Tony will tell you that on my channel, we promote absolutely everybody, and I keep
Absolutely.
maintaining, and I say it
Yeah.
every time in every show that we do on El Tel Cockerel that people should support all other channels, whether you're into it or not. You don't have to hit the notification bell. Just sub because you're helping people out. Because it's a grind. It's hard work. Some of you, if you do it in the chat, it's a grind and it's hard work.
Yeah.
And this is not our jobs. We've got real jobs. We've got real lives. We've got families. We've got socials, lives that we deal with. We've got everything that we done, but yet we come and do this. So it's important that everyone gets supported. Everyone
Absolutely.
does.
Big up Painline Bay Nadama. Ethos, that's the place in Greece, isn't it? I thought Jose was an English lass. Hey, no, he's already alluded to where he's come from. Big up to you as always. Rico, even all RIP's friend Guy Nielsen, exactly a gentleman, 100%. They're saying hello to each other. Chris Jose, no seating area except inside the stadium, no free water area. It's a disgrace. Yeah. And sorry to hear it, Nick Fortin. Can't stay as sick, but just wanted to say fart, fuck, rug, fart, fuck, rug, fuck, rug, fart. As you can tell, he loves the word fart. Speedy recovery, Nick. I hope it's not too bad, mate. And get well soon, mate. I hope to see you again soon.
Yeah, good luck to you, Nick.
Chris, like West Ham supporters, we miss our previous statement. Yeah, most definitely. Exponential anger saying Sullivan being hated is one of the few things that we aren't too divided on, to be fair. Yeah, that's very true. Pepe saying, banter aside, your stadium is amazing. Really enjoyed the tour. I went on last month, close to 90 minutes. Only took me around half a minute to view your trophies, which sped up the time.
I've read it already. I'm just letting you catch up with the chat. I've read some of these things already.
I
I've had
like to
to
catch
bite
up
my
with
lip.
Yeah, I know, mate. I know. It only took him 12 years to get the back end part right, though. If we'd been honest, yeah, absolutely. And here he is. Good evening to Colin or afternoon. Big up the boys, as always. Big up the Nelson. And there you go. Howard saying also got a sub from him as well.
Thank you, Howard.
Appreciate
God bless
that
you,
well.
mate.
Thank you, matey. So your next question is this one. If you had the chance to talk to any player or manager, what main question would you ask them?
Shit, man. There's so many managers that I'd ask questions of. I'm not sure about what I'd ask questions of players because for me, I'll be honest, and I'll tell people where I am at the moment, right? Cobber's in the chat. David Shear. Good morning, David. It must be really early for you in Australia, mate. Good morning to you.
Yeah, good day, David. I hope you felt well, mate. He was on the show last night. He said it was about 4:30, I do believe, when he was on.
Yeah,
there
it's
as
early.
well.
It's very early for David. It's 7 hours. He's 7 hours in front of us, so it's really early for him.
There you go, mate. You've got another sub from the guy that saves football, and also from the great man himself, Pain Like Bane Adama as well.
Thank you very much,
bring
guys.
the pain, as he says.
Thank you very much, guys. It's much appreciated. So there's a few managers. I mean, Oh, with Pochettino, I'd speak to Pochettino, and I'd want to ask him um, why Harry Kane was picked for the Champions League final. If I had to
Yes.
ask Pochettino the question, I'd want to know why. What was his thought process behind the team that he selected that day in playing him? Because obviously we all know that he hardly played. He hardly kicked the ball for a couple of months before that, and obviously Moore had done what he did in the semi final. And yeah, I'd have to ask Pochettino what was his thought process about his team selection
Mm,
for the Champions League final. Um, I think Bobby Robson, great Bobby Robson, is probably a manager that I would have liked to have asked some questions. And
yeah.
I think one of the questions I would have asked him would be, how the fuck did you manage Paul Gascoigne? I've just got to ask him, how did you manage to put? Is it because you're as daft as him? What is it?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I would have to ask that question.
No,
Um,
exactly.
so I'd have to ask him. There's a few managers that I'd have to ask questions, but I'd have to ask them questions. I'd probably
Nice.
ask Steve McLaren, how many languages do you really speak? Because he seems to pick up all the languages everywhere he goes. It's like birdie, 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 birdie when he went to Holland. When he
Yeah.
went on, if he managed in Wales, he'd be able to probably sing the national anthem of Wales. He'll probably pray to Saint David, and he'll know the name of every sheep in the field. It's just he seemed to be the kind of person that did that. I mean, he's going to manage somebody else now. I can't remember who it is. He's going to manage
Jamaica now, so he'll be
Jamaica.
saying that,
Does that mean
Wagwan brethren.
yeah,
Yeah, that's what yeah,
Wagwan
Wagwan
brethren?
brethren.
He speaks patois now as well. At
Exactly.
the
So
end of
he's
the day, I mean, you're asking me a question. There's a load of people I could ask questions of, loads of different
uh,
managers. So, you know, um,
uh,
yeah, I could ask questions of loads of different managers.
no, fine, mate.
So yeah,
David,
there's
unfortunately, no,
three for me.
can't super chat, unfortunately, mate. Because we're not multi-stream. It's only on mine, and of course, we're not up to that magic figure yet. So once we get that past, then you can do that side of things, my friend. Yeah. Howard saying no disrespect early. Steele's on at 2200 hour. Just nice to meet you, Jose. Spud with some common sense. Cheers, early. You're welcome, Howard. Not a problem at all. Go and say
Thank you
hello to
very
Steel for
much.
me as well, mate. Thank you. Thanks for being in here. David
He
saying,
said
ask Levy.
managers. He didn't say owners. He said managers, David. So
Yeah.
what manager would I ask a question of? Not what owner. So otherwise, that would have been on the list as well.
Ask Levy what he was thinking, sacking Martin Yeo at half time. Yeah, as I was saying, McLaren. David Shear, great one, mate. I was there when it happened. Wow. Yeah, what a twat. Chris, that rocked me as a fan since 81. Cool. What would you ask Jose Mourinho?
I'd probably ask Mourinho now, because obviously he's Portuguese. So I'd ask him in Portuguese. I wouldn't have to ask him in English. I would ask him, does he still think he's the special one at the moment, being at Fenerbahce? I would ask him that question. Does he still think special? The best one at the moment? Because I don't think his stock, his stock's definitely gone down. I bet he's on a big time wage,
Oh,
but
God, yeah.
his stock has definitely gone down club wise and that. There's new managers out there, isn't there? They're doing new things and revolutionising and doing the game, and it leaves some people behind. And he just seems to be one of those that's behind. If Conte doesn't do well now with Napoli, then I think Conte might be another one that's left behind as well. So,
Yeah. Chris, well, go on. Is Donna Cullen here? Yeah, she's everywhere. They're everywhere. Them, he, they're all over the place. Yeah, she's definitely all over the place. Elias, Chris, yeah. Question from Pepsi: are Spurs going to make any more signings?
um, I don't know is the honest answer. And what I'd say for people at Tottenham, and I don't know what it's been like for West Ham because obviously you guys follow West Ham, so you'll know. But the in the nose have been spraying bullets from an AK-47, and since the beginning of May, we've been linked with 10 players a day, so it's about 400 players we've been linked with. Plus 400 plus, and not one of these in the nose, and that includes Fabrizio Romano. Not one of these ITKs has actually got anything right about Tottenham this season. Um, So we signed Archie Gray. We got him 24 hours after someone said it. We got him. The same with Dominic Solanke. Dom Solanke came to the table 24 hours later. Bosh, we got Solanke. The outgoings, Højbjerg was linked to bloody Napoli, Atletico Madrid, Fulham, and Galatasaray. Link came out from the club that he was going to Marseille. 24 hours later, he was signed by Marseille. So at the end of the day, they haven't got a clue what they're talking about in the nose. We as fans probably get frustrated because we want to see people coming in. The transfer window has been absolutely brilliant for Tottenham in the sense, and I'd give them 9 out of 10 at the moment in getting rid of players out of the club, right? But at the moment, as we speak today on a Monday evening, Bank Holiday Monday, knowing that the window closes on Friday, the ins don't currently match the outs that we've got. You know, we've got rid of a hell of a lot, but we haven't bought as many as what I would have liked in. Personally, I'd like to I think we're still 3 players shy. I think we still need another defender that can play, that can cover the left-hand side of the defence, just in case Van der Ven or a doggy go down. I think we need another midfielder, especially if we're getting rid of Lo Celso. I think we need another midfielder. And I still think we need another player that can play in the front three. So I still think we're 3 players shy just in this transfer window. If we need more, but just in this transfer window, I think we're 3 shy. But as I said, in the nose, and as fans, we get frustrated. I don't know what's going to happen between now and Friday.
Next question for you. Name your 5 all-time players who've worn the Spurs shirt.
Maradona. He wore it. He wore it. He wore it in a friendly for Tottenham. So, okay, the 5 players for me. Hoddle, the king of Tottenham for me. Hoddle. Didn't get to see him play, but I'm going to say Jimmy Greaves. I didn't get to see him play either, but everyone keeps telling me about Cliff Jones and what a top winger he was back in the day. So probably Cliff Jones. I'm going to include Gareth Bale in this. Because you only pick 5. Okay, I'm going to do a joint one, Sheringham and Ginola as well.
Good shout. Yeah,
but some of them are before my time, but from videos and from what I've seen on the Pantheon clips, yeah, on the Pantheon clips, because there's some really, really good players that I've not seen that I would have liked to see.
Next one for you, mate. What do you say you're most proud of?
Family, children, grandchildren.
Yeah.
Family all the way, and me dogs. I love me dogs as well. They look after us. The dogs look after the whole household. So I'm going to have to say dogs as well.
Ah, good, mate. Good. Next one for you. If you could change one thing in the world, what would it be?
The world's fucked. You'd have to change more. You'd have to change more than one thing.
And he's asking, no Klinsmann.
I did say Klinsmann. I said Klinsmann and Ginola at the end, didn't I? I said a double bank.
Sheringham and Ginola. You said.
I did. Oh, Klinsmann as well. I'm sure I slipped Klinsmann in there as well. But that gives me like 9, Anthony. He said 5. I've given you 9. Greed is what I'd try and cut out of the world. I think this corporate greed there is out there. At the end of the day, we're all human beings. We've all got to live. And I just think greed has ruined the world because you've got the divide now of greed and poverty, and that gap's becoming greater and greater. And the greedy people just don't give a two what's in the whirlwind about those below them and that. And at the end of the day, you carry on with this corporate greed and stuff like that, and people will rebel. And that's when you start seeing civil action being taken by certain countries, because the path to greed becomes a great one. yeah. So if we could stop greed, then that would be really good. I say.
Greed and ego. We'll all have to breathe in crap once a day. Absolutely. Pepsi's last question for you. Do you both think transfer deadline day will be the busiest ever, considering most clubs have not done much business? Could bank buying set in?
Right, do you want to go first on this, or do you want me to go first?
Well, if I go first for me,
Yeah,
because it's
go on, go on.
as is quite very simple. I mean, we've only got a couple of more players we're looking to get. There is talks of the solid deal is virtually near enough a done deal,
Who?
and also obviously I can't remember his first name. Soler
Soler,
from PS
Carlos
Soler,
Soler, Carlos Soler. Yeah,
yeah,
from PSG. Yeah,
from
sorry.
PSG. So
Yeah,
he's virtually near enough done with, and the other one that apparently is picking up pace. I'm not too sure about this one. Is Tammy Abrams.
from Roma.
Mm,
Okay. So to answer this question, I'm not going to answer it on team based. I'm going to answer it as it says. It says, "Do you both think the transfer deadline day would be sever?" So that's all general is what is
general, yeah,
being asked,
yeah,
not about club. I said on my show earlier, and I said yesterday on another show, that for me the transfer market has changed completely, completely changed out of recognition. Whatever them stupid acronyms people were using before for last season, your PSRs and your FFPs, and the new shit that they're going to bring in for next season's rulings and that means that people have changed the mode that they sign players. And I don't think we're going to get anywhere near the kind of money being spent in transfer markets that we've had in previous years. I said this last year. I said you're going to see the market come down in money.
yep,
And what we're seeing now, and I said this yesterday, you look at the transfer dealings, and I'd say to you, 80% of transfer dealings have been players under the age of 25 that have been bought by clubs. Right.
yeah,
Yeah, I'd say 80% of players are under 25 years of age, and
yep,
20% are players over 25 years of age. People are going down this route of buying youngsters and younger players, um, and so you've got a lot of players that supposedly are on the market and that, and no one's biting their hands off to take these players. Now,
no,
2 seasons ago, 3 seasons ago, these players would be snapped up, and probably for silly money as well, and would probably bankrupt your clubs on the
yep,
wages that they would get. This is not happening anymore. The world has changed in transfer markets and will continue to do so as well. So I don't think that, well, we know already that this summer hasn't been the busiest transfer window at all.
hmm
In total, I'm talking in totality.
in total,
I
yeah, exactly.
I ain't talking about West Ham and then buying a whole new 11. I'm talking about in totality. Yeah,
Well,
go to Brighton, Aston Villa, and West Ham, and they've got new
new
11s.
team, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Because
they could pick a new team.
I mean, Anthony's an Arsenal fan, so of course, when I think it was last week, a couple of weekends ago, when we nearly signed 3 players. I got called wanker, I got called this, that, and the other because he says here, bloody fed up with all these West Ham deals. If I'm honest,
Well, the Arsenal have done well. Calafiori is a very, very good player.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and do you know what? I'm going to say Miguel Merino, if they go for Miguel Merino, I think they might have missed a trick because the better buy for me is Ruiz from PSG.
mm, yeah,
And I think you could probably get Ruiz for more or less the same kind of money that you're looking at Marino for. You probably have to pay probably what 5 million more, I reckon, for Ruiz. But Ruiz can be priced from PSG because Luis Enrique's the manager there, and Luis Enrique wasn't playing Ruiz. He wasn't playing Ugarte, who's now been linked with Man United. These players weren't being selected by Luis Enrique, and they've gone out and now bought that João Neves from the youngster, the central
yeah.
midfielder, and he'll play centre midfield with Vitinha next season. So some of these other players could be bought by other clubs. So, but Arsenal have done well. Calafiori is a very good player.
Mm. Thing is, you mentioned them for players, but they won't have enough time. It'll run out by the time they get these deals over the line. I mean,
Yeah,
the
but
Marina one,
I've always been a believer, Tony, that you can speak to agents, you can speak to clubs and intermediaries, and you can get the nod whether the player wants to come to you or not. You can get
yeah,
the nod of to how much it's going to cost to make a deal. And you can do all that groundwork, and then just go to the club and you offer them the dollars that's needed to make the deal because you got the buy-in from everybody else. So, at the end of the day, I think deals could still be done this week. I
Yeah,
think,
I think so. I think so.
without, pardon the pun, there's still irons in the fire for clubs. There's still
This
irons
is
in the
true.
fires for clubs. So, yeah.
Big up to Kieran. Morning, Tony. Tell the birds are cheap. Good morning, everyone. And Kieran's also from Australia as well. So
Good morning
hope
to
you
you,
keep.
Kieran.
I hope you keep well, mate. So you can say like the David Shear because he's also, as he says here, 5 a.m. here. Damn insomnia. I set the alarm and missed out an hotel. He missed out on your show, mate.
That's all right. Don't worry about it, David. You
Yeah,
do enough
I've
as it
read it,
is.
mate. Yeah, too many he's asking there. Yeah. Dave said, I have Spurs wage structure though, Jose.
What's this wage structure like?
He's saying he
Oh, he
likes
loves
the
their wage
Spurs
structure.
wage
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
structure. Yeah. Yeah, they're just saying, yeah, I found a retro shirt yesterday and the first person I thought was Perryman.
Ooh.
Yeah, too bloody many. David Shearer kept in top Spurs, Chris. Exponential angry. If Arsenal can't win it with what they have already, which they won't, dead low day ain't going to matter. 100%. Definitely agree on that one. Good evening to Gus Parker. Woolwich Wanderers win title for me this time. Be interesting if they will get it over the line this time. Evening, Damien. Hope you will. Surely Arsenal need a centre forward. Yeah, I think they're screaming out for that, but not according to Arteta anyway. G'day, Kieran Cobber, Western Australia near Cobber. And Pepsi saying Marino apparently had his medical 2 days ago and still nothing.
Is that because Arsenal needed to move on a player or whatever? See, at the end of the day, look at the amount of money that Arsenal spent in they bought Rice last year, didn't they, for 105?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
you've got to look at the amount of money they spent last year, and to balance the books, they might have to get rid of a player before they can go in again. I know that deals and transfers get monetized over 5 years, but it's the down payment that you got to put down for the first year, and maybe they need to move on that forward, the boy that they're looking to sell to Forest. And if they do that, if that then happens, I reckon that Marino comes in straight away for you guys. I can't remember Nketiah. If he goes to Forest and he gets sold, I think that Marino gets an out straight
No,
after.
that's broken down, that deal for Forest.
Oh, has it?
Apparently went 120,000 a week. So
Oh, okay.
Palace could be the next team that's going to go for him there.
Okay, but if he gets sold and the money then comes in for him, then I think Marino is not going to be too far behind being announced.
No, no,
I
that's
just
true.
think they need to get rid of a player in order to bring a player in and just get some money.
Just got a couple more questions to ask, and then we're going to wrap up the show itself. But
Okay, mate.
this is one in interesting one I thought I'd throw into the mix. If you could have a superpower, what would you have?
If I had a superpower and I could sprinkle the world with magic dust, because the world gets sprinkled all the time as well because of the ozone layer, so we've got shit coming down on us on a daily basis that we can't even see, particles that we can't even see. I would sprinkle some dust to apply both peace and non-greed to the world.
Nice, nice. And then the last one for you. If you were stuck on a desert island, what three people would you like to be stuck with?
God, this could be different genres. For a on a footballing aspect, I'd probably like to be put on an island with Pele, Johan Cruyff, and probably Maradona, to be honest, because I'd like to ask all three of them questions about their upbringings, uh, how they were trained, and what their philosophies of football were. We know what Cruyff was, but it'd be interesting to see. I know that he played for Ajax and he came through the academy and that, but where was he born and how was he brought up? Was he an Ajax supporter to start with? And asking them type of questions and then find out what his philosophy of football is, because obviously it's rubbed off on a fair few people. La Masia in Barcelona still use it. So the blueprint he took to Barcelona years and years ago, they still use it. Pele, just a phenomenal player, wasn't he? And I'd like to
Mm,
ask him and what his upbringing was like in the slums and the favelas and that in Brazil. Um, and to see what he would have to have put up with, because he grew up in an era when Nazism was around as well. So it'd be
Yeah.
interesting to see because he grew up in an era where a lot of people there was a lot of hatred going around in them years. So I'd like to ask him. And again, Maradona's come from a poor background as well. Just for him, I'd want to know why he exploded. Why he self-imploded type thing. So they're
Mm,
the three people on the footballing side. They're the three people I'd probably like to spend time with on a desert island to pick their brains about things.
nice, mate. Nice. And if anyone in the chat has got any questions for Jose, please start putting them in there before we wrap up. Even if it's a couple of questions, we can ask the good man himself. But as you can see, I'll put his link for his channel is in the chat as well. So if you haven't already, make sure you go over to his channel and obviously hit that subscribe button. It all helps out, as we say. Let's see if everyone's brave enough to ask you some questions now.
I think you've actually opened me up, and so you know all about me already.
Yeah. Yeah, at least you're there, man. That's enough for me, Pepsi's saying.
So, Surgeon Tony, I'm just going to do this operation and
Yeah.
open you up. Can open you up. It won't take too long.
Just going to stitch you up after this. Arsenal mate saying I'd like to be stuck on a desert island with Kelly Brook and company.
One a few people.
Yeah. David Jose, is it true you're the phenom of your football competition?
No, I'm not. I've started off poorly in all three competitions, and what I will say is, if the host ends up at the top, people will then start casting dispersions about you. So I've had a really slow start. I'm hoping to pick up. There's still 36 games to go. So there you go.
Yes, Chris is saying, am I still top of the predictions league? I think
Yes,
he's
you
saying
are,
that.
Chris.
Yeah.
I did a show earlier, and when I did the show earlier this afternoon to give the reveal on all three competitions, you are still top of the predictions league.
Wow. As always, one from Anthony. Do Tottenham need to change their badge and cock on the ball a bit naff?
Well, do you know what? It can't be up as boring as your car. How can you have a cannon? A fucking cannon as a badge, eh? Car. That
Uh,
should be like that. It should not be shooting up in it. It should be like that.
shooting,
That's all.
shooting blanks.
Yeah, that's all I'm going to say for now. Only for now, though. Until you start firing, stick it back up. Stand to attention. Whilst it's not firing, Foster's droop, as we say. Go on.
Oh wow. Matt's saying, been a great show, great questions, and great to learn about Tel Cockerel. Thank you, gentlemen. Matt, you're welcome,
Thank
Matt,
you
as
very much,
always.
Matt. Thank you.
So I bet you play Cobber. when you
Oh
play
no,
Cobber.
yeah, no, I played tonight, and yeah, I had a good first half. Not so good. I didn't get much of the ball in the second half. Playing tonight, but it was all right.
Kieran saying, is it me or is that cock bigger on the shirt this year?
No, it's not. It's not bigger at all. It remains the same size. Um, Sometimes I think we should make it bigger so the players can see who they're representing. But yeah, it's not. It's actually the same size.
Does that cannon work?
I don't know. You'll have to tell it. You'll have to answer that for us, Arsenal Manic. Does your cannon work? Do you share your cannon then? Because when you say does okay, just asking. Sorry.
And as we get near to the show, Jose, what have you got coming up on your channel? And as always, we know people can find you now. So what kind of you got coming
I
up?
I'm gonna be actually I'm at work tomorrow and Wednesday, so
Thank you, Mama.
I won't be doing much tomorrow and Wednesday. But I will be back. I do run a predictions league on my show, and I do that on a Friday. I run a fantasy premier, and I also run a predict the prem. There's three competitions that are free to enter. They can be found on my community page for people that want to enter it. It doesn't matter when you enter it, whether you missed the first 2 weeks or not. You can always play catch up. So I do that on a Friday. I've got a members show coming up on Saturday. Do you know Ash P at all?
Mm.
Ash P's back, and Ash P and Ellie are currently hosting shows on a Sunday morning for me, called the Ladies Takeover. Which they do quite well. They're absolute piss takers. They come on the channel and they destroy everything. They press everything and they bring their own material. And I just go like that. I just have to close my eyes all the time. Think to myself,
Disaster.
what are these girls going to get up to next? Um, yeah, it's just in the notification bell. I do. I go on other people's channels as well, and have a
Yeah.
good chin wag on other people's channels.
Well,
So
there's your partner in crime as always, Colin. Talking ball.
yeah, he's got a show tomorrow evening. I think
Yeah.
11 o'clock in the evening. So
Nice.
in English time, so he's going to catch the Australian audience, the North American audience, and the people in Europe that stay up late.
Nice.
Because
Hope you
it's hard work because you and I, because we're here in England, Tony, we do things to suit more or less the crowd that we've got here. But then
hmm
once you start taking on board, like you've got people in your chat tonight that are from Australia, once you start taking on board the people from other countries, you got to switch it around a bit. You got to do some shows that
Exactly.
encounters and
Yeah.
takes into consideration where your community is coming from. So yeah,
Cheers, Kieran. Thanks, mate.
thank you,
Laters.
Kieran.
Give it a like, chap. Much appreciated as always. Yeah, totally definitely has a limp cannon. Jokes. That's that's what she said. Good day. Arsenal, mate. He needs some of the blue pill then. It was great to see an HP. Ellie off the chain as always. Yeah. 7 hours, I can handle it, not 13. Yeah. Thanks,
Yeah.
Cole. Appreciate it, mate. Good seeing you as well as always.
Yeah, smash
And
the like for this stream for Tony because it goes a long way. And at the end of the stream as well, leave comments for Tony as well, and I'm sure Tony will answer them back because again, it helps the stream. It
yeah,
helps it go out. It's the engagement that you get with the streams. So yeah, engage with Tony, and let's push Tony. Let's get Tony to the magical 500. That's what we need to get him to next.
thank you, mate. Chris, my Villa fan friend always tells me wet spam nick their shirts.
I don't know. Did everyone nick Burnley shirts? Because ain't Burnley older than both of you lot?
I don't know about just because we come from the East End. Are you just trying to kind of say
No,
that we're so,
I was talking about Villa as well, though. God, it's not just West Ham.
yeah?
God.
No,
Is it the
thanks, Chris.
Roman Road Market? Roman Road Market.
It could be. It could be that, mate. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Petticoat Lane, Roman
Spitalfield,
Road,
Petticoat Lane, Spitalfields, Roman Road. Yeah. East India
Canning
Docks.
Market.
Yeah.
Oh,
Canning
mate.
Town.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the whole
Oh,
the whole shebang, basically.
yeah.
Uh, David Shear saying you deserve 500 minimum. Tony, great showing chat. Relax at the moment. Thanks, David. Yeah, and that's what we try to be. You know, we don't. That's one thing I always try to maintain to have a nice, calm, relaxed talk with each other, rather than like arguing and shouting because that don't achieve nothing. You know, I think it's all about talking about football more than anything else. Oh, Chris, what a great shout! Look at that Dagenham market as
Yeah.
well. Yeah. Last question from Anthony. Where would Tottenham finish this season? Great shout.
In the Premiership. We ain't going down. So yeah, so there you go, Anthony. There's a diplomatic one for you. We'll finish in the Premiership.
Yeah, thanks, man. That's what we try to treat, don't we? You know, and you
Yeah.
do meet some great people. I mean, you know, I met Mama Flossie through this, you know, through YouTube and people like that. You know, Longhead Jetty, Carl, Jez, Anthony.
Yeah, I've met Mama Flossie on other channels as well. It's not just here. She's a mod for other channels as well.
Oh no, she's brilliant, absolutely brilliant, and she's a top lady as well.
Yeah, but
And
she's a mod for other channels because I've met Mama Flossie in other channels as well.
yeah, she's a mod for other channels, and of course she's a Newcastle fan, and also like you know, she's a great lady as well.
I had I was saying to Tony earlier, I had a Newcastle chap on the other week on my channel, and we've got Newcastle next weekend, of course.
Yes,
We are
Tony,
really looking forward. We're really looking forward to going to Newcastle next weekend, Tottenham supporters. Oh,
Mind you, I
oh
suppose
yeah.
if you look at it, you know, and know that Mum will agree with this, it's better going there than going to Tyne and Weir and South Shields for where old Sunderland is. That's for sure. Yeah, that's true,
Stockton.
David. Stockton, yeah, Stockton, places like that.
I've been to Stockton. Guys, it's rough up in Stockton.
And you, David, as well. No, we aren't. Newcastle finished 15th. Oh, he likes to put that dig in for Mama. He really does. Dicing with death there, Anthony. Dicing with death. Better than going to Millwall. Good day, Moss. Bet you, yeah, You cannot watch 3 p.m. UK kickoffs from the Prem. Yes, yeah, we can't do that at the moment. We cannot do that.
It's a weird because this is an old thing that was introduced by the government many centuries ago. It feels like it was to make sure that you could get people to the stadiums and that. But they're now promoting. If you look at the Championship, League One, and all that, they've scattered the times of their kickoffs:
Yeah,
midday, 3 o'clock, and 5:30, and they're being televised. So basically, grassroots football, you're taking the fans away, aren't you? So, you
yeah,
know,
no, it's true. But yeah, you've got Sky Sport Plus now. That's basically
covers all the
Championship
matches.
League One covers all matches. Yeah,
Yeah.
what
So,
why they didn't do it here?
yeah, so why they're not? So why they don't allow the Premiership to have? I mean, it's all greed again, isn't it, Tony? It's all greed again. I mean,
Of course.
yeah, the football. I mean, I think I'm older than you, but you'll remember that you used to get everyone played at 3 o'clock on a Saturday. Everybody, doesn't matter what league you played in, you all kicked off at 3 o'clock.
Yep.
And then for those that had the wireless, as people used to say, I used to listen it to on my wireless. Or the radio, you used to listen to the football on the radio because there was nothing on telly at 3 o'clock on Saturday.
That's right.
You'd listen on there, or you'd watch the video printer on BBC One, and
Yeah.
you watch the video printer on BBC One, and they'd come live, and you see if someone scored a goal and all that. Well before Sky and that,
Yes.
and but now it's money, it's greed. The Premiership kicks off on a Friday at 8 o'clock in the evening. The Premiership games then finish on a Monday with Tottenham playing against Leicester. You had people play at 12:30, 3 o'clock, 5:30 on a Saturday. It's just fucking greed, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
just
Of course
greed,
it is. It's all
complete
about that.
greed,
Yeah. I must say,
complete
make more
greed.
TV money, allowing, and then share that money around the EFL. Simple solution. I mean, Moss. Well, I think we very much know that one, but as you know full well, that's not going to happen. It's all about looking after themselves at the end of the day. And do you remember years ago, though, Jose? They said the same old thing. We'll make sure the money goes down to grassroots level. We'll support this. Yeah,
We've been hearing that for forever and a day. I mean, we were hearing that when I was a teenager. I was hearing all that stuff as well. And I don't see, I don't see, and I don't hear very many people say that the money is going down and being fed through. In fact, I would hazard a guess that proportionally, you probably get more money from the EFL going in the grassroots than what the Premiership put in proportionally.
yeah,
So
definitely agree
at
on
the
that
end
one.
of the day, the Premier League stands on its own. They're one of the biggest greed carts out there, aren't they? So
Yeah. Good
look at
evening
that,
to
Miguel Arteta's here.
yeah, King McKill. He always comes and sees us, King
Hola
McKill.
Miguel, ¿cómo estás? ¿Todo bien? O ya no hablas español ahora solo
Eh,
hablas inglés. Yeah.
Moss, North Americans would never allow this blocking matches stuff and never allow the poor VAR and bad cameras in stadiums. Fix it. Oh, we'd love that to happen. Definitely would love that to happen. And as David said, all sport getting taken off the free to air channels here in Oz. It sucks. Yeah, welcome to just answer back with C.
A man of many words, King Miguel.
Exactly. But Jose, it's been a pleasure having you on. Really enjoyed this one, and it's good to have the chat and the feedback we begin for this one as well. So, at long but last, we have come to an end. And for people in the chat, thanks for sticking around with us and asking Jose some great questions. And also appreciate that you've gone over to his channel and you've given him a sub and a like as well, because he is a good guy. And as he said, and I agree wholeheartedly, it's all about supporting each other at the end of the day.
For all those people, when I come off and if I get notified from YouTube on who's come over, I will go and subscribe back to the channels. As I said, that's what I do anyway. So, and you help everybody out. Let's just help everyone out. So, and help Tony. And by helping Tony, by hitting the like button here. If you haven't subbed to him already, then do so. But then also engage after the show. Put comments in the show. Things you may have liked, things you didn't like, things you agreed with, you didn't agree with, or you might have a different point of view or
Thanks,
something.
Mama.
If you engage with the channel, then it gets it out there even more. And we
Yeah,
need to get Tony to 500. Bare minimum, we need to get him to the 500 mark.
thank you, sir. Yeah, as Mama says, thanks, Tony. Jose, nice to meet you.
Yes, likewise, Mama Flossie. And likewise to
Same.
everyone that's been in the chat. And thank you for those that have come over to support me. It's much appreciated and it means the world. And yeah, as I said, and Tony said, we help each other out.
Yeah. Spread the cheers, Dave was saying there. And great show, Tony. Thanks. You're welcome, Chris, as always. And as Mum always says it, thanks to the chat as well.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. And we're out. So we'll just kind of go at the outro, cover your ears, and we'll say good night. Good night.
Good night.